YouTube, what it is, it's your boy Diesel from Diesel TV. Alright man, I'm here with another episode, and today what we are going to be doing, I am going to be rating some of you guys' guns. Some of my subscribers have sent me some pictures of their guns and their setups and things of that sort, and I'm just giving my two cents on them. Alright, so before we get started, alright, so I just want to make this disclaimer before we get started. If you send me a picture, I might have a few jokes about them, alright? So don't take it personal. They are just jokes. I'm just messing y'all. So let me make that disclaimer before I start, because the first person that sent me a picture was a Keith Hilton. And what he did was he sent me a picture of his Kel-Tec rifle. I'm not sure exactly. Alright, so the first one came from a Mr. Keith Hilton. And he just sent me a picture. He didn't give me any information. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm not gonna get on them too bad. But guys, if you send me your stuff, I need an explanation of what it is, how much you paid for it, and things of that sort. What do you do with it? Home defense, EDC, you know, stuff like that. Just give me a lot of information, as much information that I can to see exactly what you use your gun for, because I'm gonna give an opinion of what I would use it for. All right. So he sent me this High Point, and it is a High Point 995 black 9mm. Okay, barrel length is 16.5 or 19. You can get in both barrel lengths. And I'm looking up all this stuff on the internet right now, man. Not really anything really that I need to, you know, really share with y'all. That's really, you know, something out. Just talk about this gun. It does come in 9mm. How you load it is it's a magazine through the actual grip, like a regular handgun, through the grip, and that's how you fire it. All right. So what I think about this gun is that it's a High Point. I mean, I've always wanted to shoot this gun. Now, don't get me wrong. I did want to shoot it because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but it is a High Point, and I am very standoffish when it comes to the High Point brand. I just don't really feel like High Points really make you know, real high quality things. Now, like I said, I have heard a lot of good stuff about this High Point rifle. I have, but I just been so standoffish to even shoot it. If somebody was to bring it to the range and they let me shoot it, I would shoot it. But as far as what I would use it for, I don't know exactly what he uses it for. As you can see in the picture, it's up against the wall or something like that, and you know what, I'd probably use it for a trade-in. That's probably what I would use the thing for, as a trade-in. I don't know. Nah, let me be serious. So you know, if I did have this gun, I don't know, man, it'd probably just sit in my safe, man. I probably wouldn't use it for that much, just because I have so much guns. Now, if this was my only gun, it would probably be a home defense weapon or something like that. I would keep it as a home defense weapon. All right, but I just would not rely on the High Point being my home defense weapon. I would not do that. So moving on. Now, Keith Hilton decided he wanted to send me a picture of him, and I believe that's his wife. I don't know. Like I said, he never gave me any explanations or anything like that. But he sent me a picture of him and his wife. And Keith, I will have to say, I bet with them glasses on, you looked at your wife and saw a whole future with her, didn't you? I bet you did. And you would think, you know, she could have just done a little better. I'm just gonna say it. She could have done a little better, Keith. You better be lucky. You're a lucky man, Keith, because she could have done better. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Now, with them glasses on, you would think there would be only one hole in that daggone target. Now, where was you shooting, Keith? Where was you shooting, Keith? Now, let me stop. I just messing with you, Keith. I really appreciate you sending that in, man. I am just messing with you, man. Some friendly badgering. That's all that is, friendly badgering. But I want you guys to know, if you send me a picture, I might have some things to say about it, all right? So it's good that you and your wife can go to the range, though. It's good that y'all can go to the range. Y'all can have a good time at the range. You probably saw that in her when you was looking at her with them glasses on. And you know, that's just, I am so happy that you and your wife can share that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always good to have everybody in the household that's adults that can handle that weapon. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. Next one comes from Miles Hill. Miles Hill Smith is what it is. And this is his EDC. It's a P320X compact in a Wilson Carry 2 frame with an Olight boulder light, all right? Now, you know I gets down with them Olights. That ain't no problem, all right? Now, this Wilson Combat P320 is a great gun, man. That P320 is just a good gun, all right? The only problem I have with this gun, with this particular gun, is the price, all right? For P320, I personally, I can probably get a P320 at less than $500. I mean, right at $500, somewhere around there, but it ain't gonna be that much over $500. With this grip on it, with the Wilson Combat grip on it, you're gonna pay over $1,000 for it, and I'm just not gonna pay over $1,000 for a P320. I don't care how it looks. I just don't see myself doing that, man. So it being a sexy gun, it looks good and all that stuff, but for it to be an EDC, I just can't see myself putting a whole bunch of money in an EDC gun that's just going to be carried around concealed or something like that. Now, if it was a showpiece or something like that, yes, okay, I can see that. And I'm not saying I would never buy a SIG P320 with the Wilson's grips on it. But what I'm saying is for EDC, I would not, because you're just paying all that money, and let's say you have to use it, and then, you know, police is going to confiscate it for the investigation and things of that sort. I just don't put that much money in my EDC guns because of that reason. I have guns that I sit in my safe and I show off, and I like people to see when I go to the range and stuff like that, to shoot and all that stuff. But as far as the EDC, no, I do not do it. But it is a very nice setup, and you did real good with that light, man. That Olight boulder is a very, very good light. I mean, that's the one with the laser on it and all that stuff. So it's a real good light, man, for the price. So as far as this SIG P320, it would not be an EDC for me. If I was to have that gun, it would be a safe queen. It would be something I kept in my safe, and I would not just bring out for EDC. All right, but nice gun, nice gun. All right, moving on to the next one, and this is coming from one of my favorite subscribers, Old Chocolate Drop, Chicago Southside, sent me a picture of his handgun, and he sent me a picture of his rifle. His handgun is a Beretta APX. Got it from Gunbroker. MSRP is $449 plus tax and $25 for shipping. Total was $44. That is his EDC. All right. Now on it, he doesn't have any lights or anything like that. He carries it just how it came, which is just fine. I've carried a bunch of guns like that, and I still do carry from time to time like that. Now on the EDC, the Berettas are very good guns, man. That APX is a very good gun for the Beretta. I've shot them before. I've always wanted to get me some more Berettas, because I've only gotten one. And I don't show that one off at all because it was a lot of money for that one. But I only got one Beretta that I have, and I wanted to get more that I could like carry or felt comfortable carrying because of the price of it or whatever. I would carry this. Now, if this was my only gun I had, I would carry it as an EDC. I would feel comfortable doing that. I would probably put a light on it, some kind of light on it, and I would probably get an extension for that magazine as well. But as you guys know, I do not carry guns based on what they can carry. Now, if my gun is capable of carrying more bullets, more power to it. But I don't get a gun based on how many bullets it carries. I get it based on how well I shoot it. But for a gun like this, I would probably put an extended magazine, maybe 2 or 3 rounds. Get a light on it. I'm not aware if it has night sights on it or not. I do night sights on a bunch of my guns. Majority of my guns I do night sights on. There are only a few guns I didn't get night sights for, and those were because they were second guns of what I've already had. They were exact same gun, they were second gun, and I just felt like I didn't want to pay the extra for the night sights. You know, that's the only reason. All right, so the second gun that he sent me was a St. Victor 223556 AR-15 pistol. He got it from Gunbroker. The MSRP was $950 plus tax and $45 for shipping. Total is $1,005. Vortex Crossfire Red Dot was $169 plus tax. Total was $186. Got it from my local FFL dealer. Oh, and that's a Lancer mag. A Lancer mag for 21 bucks. All right, so that is a lot, but okay. So we're gonna go through the whole thing. So he paid $950 plus 45. He paid $1,005 for an AR-15 223-556 pistol. Would never pay that much for it. I don't care, you know, Saint, you know, Springfield. I would not pay that much for a AR. I just wouldn't. I like to build my own now. Now, before, when I first got into guns and I didn't know anything about building ARs or anything like that, I would have paid a certain amount for a gun. Now, back then, guns were not that expensive. I think I got my first AR that I bought was a 16-inch DPMS, and I paid like $850 for it. Back then, that was an outrageous price for an AR-15. Now that I build my own and everything like that, I usually don't, for my builds, man, I go cheap. I go cheap. When I tell you I go cheap, I go cheap. For just a regular build, I'm not paying no more than $650, $700. All right. Now that's today. I'm not paying that much, and if I am, I'm not getting it. I'm not going to do it. All right. So he has a Vortex Crossfire red dot on it. I've got a few of those for $169 plus tax. I think I paid $129 for mine. I picked up like 5 of them because it was on a big sale at Palmetto State. $169 is probably was what I think is the going rate for it. But instead of buying a Vortex, I would have, if I'm going to pay that much for a Vortex, I'd probably get the Romeo sight, just because it's a SIG sight. SIG is a company that's been around for a very long time. They're very reputable. They have to fix a lot of things, and I just feel more comfortable getting a SIG than I would a Vortex. So I have them both. They're both identical sights. There's nothing different with either one of them. They're both identical sights. I'm just saying, with the name, getting in contact, I've dealt with SIG a lot more than I've dealt with Vortex, and just getting in contact with the customer service and things of that sort. If I have any problems, I feel more comfortable going with SIG than I did Vortex. So I probably would get a SIG Romeo sight than that Vortex sight, the same exact one. All right, then he said he has a Lancer mag for $21. I don't buy high-end bags, man. When it comes to my AR, I usually, here recently, I've been buying metal mags, the government metal mags, and I get those for like $6 a piece, and I buy a whole box of them. Because when it comes down to it, man, like that $21 mag, you probably could have got 2 mags for that price. When it comes to, like, you could have got Magpool or something like that when they go on sale. You probably got 2 mags for that price, man. I don't think I would ever spend that much on an AR mag, a 30-round AR mag, man. But for that setup there, I'd probably use the Beretta for my EDC, and I'd probably use the AR for my home defense. I don't really do truck guns that much, man, because I don't know, man. I just don't feel like I'm in a situation to have to use a truck gun. I don't really go out that much on off time. I'm a homebody, so I don't really go out that much. Now, if I did have a truck gun, it would be something similar to this. This is a... He doesn't tell me how long the barrel is. The barrel looks like it's like 8.5. Looks like an 8.5-inch barrel, looks like, and that's a good truck gun length, man. If it's 8.5, 10.5 is a good length too. But I would rather have like a 7.5 truck gun length if I was to do a AR or something like that. And the reason why I'm looking over here is because I have the picture up on my screen while I'm talking to you guys. I'm gonna put the picture up for you guys, but I have the picture up on my screen that I'm looking at. All right, so okay, so he has some more information that he sent me. To mention that these were purchases during the pandemic. Victor was purchased in June and AVX was late August. Okay. The Beretta is a 17-round. Okay. So yeah, so those prices are pandemic prices. But like I said, I don't care if it is a pandemic or whatever. I'm still not gonna buy it. I would not buy an AR for that much, not knowing what I know now. As I said before, if it was when I was first into guns and everything, I probably would have paid, you know, high dollar for an AR, my first AR or something like that. Not sure if this is his first AR. I hope it is his first AR, and that's how much he paid for his first one. Other than that, anything after that first AR, man, don't be paying a whole bunch of money for it, man, because like I said, ARs are one of those things, they come a dime a dozen, and you can find a cheaper one. All right, moving on to the next one. Is I am a baller, 8baller. I think he's trying to say I am a baller. All right, he sent me 2 pictures. First one is his handgun, which is a Taurus G2C. All right. So his message to me was, I bought both with 10 AR mags, full, and 2 12 rounders and 2 15s for the G2C, all in for $1,100. For ammo, it's a DPMS A2 carbine and a G2C. The DPMS was an Oracle, and I traded for upper, for old upper. They both run aces. Okay. All right. So I mean, my first AR was a DPMS, and like I said, there ain't nothing wrong with a DPMS. DPMS rifles are very, very good. He got 10 round magazine. Let me see. So if he was to buy that now with the AR and the G2C, with the mags and the ammo, you got a good deal now. Back before pre-pandemic days, you could probably find a DPMS about $500. That Taurus G2C is probably like $250. So $750 plus the mags. You know what? You're not that far from what you would pay because you're talking about the ammo too. Let me see. He doesn't tell me how much ammo came with it. He just tells me I bought both with 10 AR mags full. Now I don't know if they're 10 round mags or 30 round mags, but 10 of them full is 300 rounds, and 2 12 rounders. If those are full, that's to another 2,400 rounds. It's 324 rounds that you got with the AR that are 223 or 556. I don't know exactly what it was, but hey man, that's a good deal. Pre-pandemic prices, that's a real good deal. So you did pretty good, man, when it came to ammo and everything. Now, my thoughts on the G2C. G2C is not a gun that I would carry EDC. I would not carry that gun EDC because I just do not like the way it shoots. If it was my only gun, I would carry it. It is a good gun that you can conceal it pretty good. But I just would not prefer carrying this G2C concealed everyday carry. I would not prefer doing that. And it's only because I don't like the way it shoots. I don't like the trigger. I cannot stand the trigger on that G2C. I have one. Also, another thing I don't like about it is it rusts very easily. I sit it in my gun closet, and I have to go back and oil it every other month just to make sure it doesn't rust, because that first day I had it, went to go shoot it, I set it in the safe overnight for like 2 or 3 nights just to come back and clean it. When I came back clean, it had rust all over it, and I was just like, man, what the heck? And I looked into it, and that's what they do, man. Those G2Cs, that's what they do. So I feel some type of way about the G2C. All right, now for the price you're getting it for, hands down, yes, I would say it is a good gun for what you're buying. But this is a prime example of you get what you pay for. All right, so like I said, not anything that I would particularly personally carry myself. I have one. I haven't even brought it out since that first day I bought it because I just don't like the way it shoots. I'm gonna keep it. I mean, I mean, it is a good quality gun for what you're getting. But yeah, no, not my cup of tea. So moving on to the AR, the DPMS, and it looks like a typical DPMS, man. A2, yep. I can see the carrying handle on top. So for this, I don't know exactly what length the barrel is. It's probably a 16 or 18 maybe. Looking at the stock and everything, it has to be a 16 or 18. It's not a pistol. So this would probably be my home defense gun if that's all I had. Now, you guys have seen my home defense video of I prefer to have a shotgun than anything, and it's not just based on because it's a shotgun, it's a whole bunch of different things. But I do prefer a shotgun for my home defense, beside the bed home defense. Now, there are other reasons why I would say a shotgun would not be as good. But you can't, like when it comes down to it, man, you can only be prepared for what you can be prepared for. You know what I'm saying? So this right here would probably be a home defense gun that I would use beside the bed. I would probably have my G2C sitting beside my bed too if it came down to it. The rifle, I would have them both sitting beside my bed. The G2C probably wouldn't leave my side if I had that. Only reason the gun leaves my side now is because I have them stashed all over the house. So I really don't have, I'm not in a situation where I'm too far from a gun anytime, so I don't usually wear it around the house that much. But when I was down to like 1 or 2 guns when I first started and I was in law enforcement, man, I would carry that gun around with me through that house all the time. And I got to the point where, because of what I was seeing at work, it worried me when I went home, so that's why I carried it around everywhere I went. Now, on that rifle, it has a dual point sling. I can see a dual point sling, which is good. That's what I run on my rifles. I don't do a single point sling because your family jewels will hate you for it. You probably won't have any more family jewels if you wear it long enough. So I don't wear a single point sling no more. My DPMS, my first rifle I had a single point sling, and I carried at work, and I was using it one time running, and it slapped me in my nuts, and I just, man, ever since then I just never again went back to a single point sling. So that's what it is with his setup, man. It's not a bad setup. G2C is not, don't get it wrong, G2C is not a bad gun. It's just not the gun for me. So man, that's what it is, man. I had 4 people send me their guns, and I really wanted 5. I want to do 5 each episode. So if you guys want to send me your guns and let me see what your setup is and give my opinion. And there was one thing I did forget when it came to it. All these guns, except for probably the Beretta, and the P320. Those guns, the P320 and the Beretta, would be guns that law enforcement would use. I've seen some departments, some officers carry Berettas, and I know some departments have actually switched to this P320. All right. Now, as far as all the other guns in here, I don't think a department would switch, just based on the fact that the reliability of them, the name of the gun. You know what I'm saying? So there wouldn't be any use for like a Taurus G2C or nothing like that, especially a high point. There wouldn't be any point for that. I mean, we see those lots on the street, but our officers don't carry them. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that goes, those 2 guns would be the only 2 guns. Now, the 4 people that sent me emails was Keith Hilton. I really appreciate it. Mr. Eyes, I'm gonna call you Mr. Eyes. Miles Hill Smith, Chicago Southside, also known as Chocolate Drop, and I'm a baller. I am 8 baller. All sent me their guns. 4 people. Next time we do this, we're gonna try to have 5. But guys, I really need y'all to be more descriptive in what you use the gun for, how much you paid for it, you know, those kind of things, so I can, you know, give an honest opinion on how I feel about your gun. All right. So if you want to send me your gun to be reviewed, send it to my Gmail. That's dieseltv001@gmail, and send me a picture of it. Give me a description or anything like that. Now, y'all can send me any kind of picture you want. If you send me a picture of you and your wife shooting, and you got binoculars on, that's fine. You can do that. I mean, that's no problem. But just know I might have a few jokes. All right, and they only jokes, people. They only jokes. Please don't get mad. They only jokes. But I might have a few jokes. All right. So, like I said, send those pictures and descriptions to dieseltv001@gmail, so I can get back with you guys and let y'all know what I think about y'all's guns out there, man. Because I know some of y'all got some crazy guns out there. I'm pretty sure of it. Some of y'all got some crazy guns out there. And Matt Moore or Mr. Morris, don't send me no crazy stuff. I know how y'all get down. Don't send me no crazy stuff, all right? That's going to conclude this episode of me rating y'all's guns. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this. That's going to conclude this episode of me rating y'all's guns, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop that like button. Go ahead and share my content, man. You know how YouTube is with that algorithm and all that stuff, man. And they have got my videos kind of messed up when it comes to that algorithm. So make sure you share, make sure you like, and make sure you subscribe. And y'all know what it is, man. I'm out.